All right, taking you now back to Virginia, where the governor, Ralph Northam, is speaking. Let's listen.
Thank our Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax, our Attorney General Mark Herring, all of our legislators that have chosen to be with us this morning, and we also have some local officials from other cities. We certainly appreciate you being with us as well. 12 years ago, after the mass shooting at Virginia Tech, our Commonwealth has suffered another terrible tragedy. Once more, first responders displayed heroism, and ordinary Virginians showed extraordinary courage and compassion. Once more, hearts are broken, lives are shattered, and families are crushed. Once more, a community is in shock and pain and grief. And once more, we will hear folks offer their thoughts and prayers. We do appreciate and need them. As I said this weekend in Virginia Beach, God is in control. But we must do more than give our thoughts and prayers. We must give Virginians the action they deserve. You see, Virginia is heartbroken. We are heartbroken for the families who have lost their loved ones. Their lives are forever changed. The pain and suffering that Virginia Beach is experiencing is the same pain communities across Virginia and around the country suffer every day due to gun violence. As an Army doctor, I have seen firsthand what a bullet does to a body. And I saw it again this weekend. I can't imagine the devastation these families are suffering. It is wrong. It is outrageous. It is unforgivable to turn our municipal centers, our schools, our churches and synagogues and mosques into battlefields. No one should go to work, to school, or to church wondering if they will come home. Our elementary school children regularly practice lockdown drills. That's what our society has come to because we have failed to act on gun violence. It is wrong that we now view these mass shootings as the normal. In fact, it is wrong that we view gun violence in general as the new normal. Tragic mass shootings, they draw our attention, but shootings happen in our communities every day. A 15-year-old boy was shot and killed in Northam on Sunday. A little girl was shot and killed at a cookout in Richmond on Memorial Day weekend. 4 people were shot, 1 killed in Portsmouth this past weekend. It is past time to change it. Back in January, I asked the Virginia General Assembly to work with me to stop this violence. I asked them to ban magazines that hold more than 10 rounds. I asked them to make background checks universal, a policy that 90% of the public supports. I asked them to create an extreme risk protective order, a way for law enforcement to ask a court to keep guns away from someone who poses a substantial danger to themselves or others, a concept supported by President Trump's own school safety task force. I asked them to reinstate Virginia's successful 1 handgun a month policy. I asked for tougher penalties for anyone who leaves a loaded gun around a child, and to require anyone whose gun has been stolen to report the theft within 24 hours. And I have supported and will continue to support legislation giving localities more authority to regulate firearms, including in their own government buildings. None of these ideas are radical. None of them violate the Second Amendment. None of them would impair any of my fellow Virginia hunters or sportsmen. None of them would limit anyone from owning a gun who wasn't a felon or a domestic abuser or declared by a judge to be a danger. And none of them passed. In fact, some failed with just 4 votes against them in small subcommittees. We lost 1,028 Virginians due to gun violence in 2017. That's almost 3 people a day. Incredibly, that is more deaths than those due to vehicle accidents. This weekend's tragedy, as well as the tragedies that happen every day across Virginia, must instill in us a new level of urgency to act. If we can save one life because we act it now, it is worth it. And so, by the power vested in me by Article 4, Section 6, and Article 5, Section 5 of the Constitution of Virginia, I will summon the members of the Senate and the House of Delegates to meet in special session for the purpose of passing common sense public safety laws. I will propose many of the same ideas that we have proposed before. Universal background checks, a ban on assault weapons to include suppressors and bump stocks, an extreme risk protective order, reinstating the 1 gun a month law, child access prevention, requiring people to report lost and stolen firearms, and expanding local authority to regulate firearms, including in government buildings. I will be asking for votes and laws, not thoughts and prayers. And I ask that the members of the General Assembly engage in an open and transparent debate, and that the bills brought before the legislature are put to a vote by the entire General Assembly. That is why our legislators are voted into office and sent to Richmond. Business as usual, with leadership shielding most of their members from taking tough votes by setting early morning hearings before small subcommittees, won't cut it. Virginians deserve leadership, and they will be watching. The nation will be watching. From the moment the first shots were fired in Virginia Beach, our first responders knew what to do. They rushed to the sound of the gunfire. They responded in less than 2 minutes to the shooting. Our first responders acted to save lives. And indeed, they did save lives. Now, I am calling on the elected officials of this Commonwealth to become second responders. Your duty is clear. Rush to the scene and put a stop to this violence. Heal our Commonwealth. Show Virginians that it doesn't matter what party you're in, we are all Virginians first. And we care about the safety and security of every Virginian, no matter who they are or where they live. There will be those there are already those who say it's too soon after the tragedy to talk about responses. I would ask those people, when is the right time? Delay only means what it always means, that there will be a next time, another tragedy, more deaths of innocent people, and when it happens, those same voices will again proclaim that it is too soon to talk about protecting our citizens. I want this to be the last time. I know this will be hard. Doing the right thing is often hard. But this work is not nearly as difficult as the task ahead for the Virginia Beach families who now have to carry on, or for the more than 1,000 Virginia families who lost a loved one due to gun violence. It is right to respond to this tragedy with decisive action. Let Virginia set an example for the nation that we can respond to tragedy with action, that we can turn pain into purpose. Let's get to work. Thank you.